The fishing trip. In the heart of the whispering woods, where the trees stood tall and the air was filled with the sweet songs of birds, lived a gentle and kind bear named Barnaby. Barnaby had soft, brown fur and a warm, welcoming smile. He loved spending his days exploring the forest and enjoying its many wonders. One of his favorite activities was fishing by the sparkling Bluebell River, especially when he could share it with his best friend, Felix the fox. Felix was a clever and playful fox with fiery red fur and bright, curious eyes. He and Barnaby had been friends for as long as they could remember. They loved going on adventures together, and today was no exception. As the first rays of sunlight peeked through the trees, Barnaby and Felix met at their favorite fishing spot by the river. "Good morning, Felix," Barnaby greeted, his voice cheerful and warm. "Good morning, Barnaby. Ready for a fun day of fishing?" Felix replied, his tail swishing with excitement. Barnaby nodded, his big paws already gathering their fishing gear. He handed Felix a fishing rod made from a sturdy branch and a string, with a shiny hook at the end. They had spent many afternoons crafting these rods together, and they worked perfectly for catching the slippery fish in Bluebell River. They settled down on the soft grass by the riverbank, the gentle murmur of the flowing water creating a soothing background melody. Felix cast his line into the water with a graceful flick of his paw, while Barnaby did the same with a hearty laugh. As they waited for the fish to bite, they talked about all sorts of things, the adventures they had, the secrets of the forest, and their dreams for future escapades. Felix loved to hear Barnaby's deep, rumbling laugh, and Barnaby always found joy in Felix's quick wit and clever ideas. "Do you remember the time we found that hidden cave filled with shiny crystals?" Felix asked, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. Barnaby chuckled, his eyes twinkling with the memory. "How could I forget? We thought we had discovered a treasure chest." As they reminisced, Barnaby felt a tug on his fishing line. "I think I've got something," he exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement. Felix watched eagerly as Barnaby gently pulled on the line. With a splash, a glistening fish leaped out of the water, its scales shimmering in the sunlight. Barnaby carefully removed the hook and placed the fish in a wooden bucket filled with water. "Well done, Barnaby," Felix cheered, clapping his paws together. "Let's see if I can catch one, too." The morning passed quickly as they continued to fish, sharing stories and laughter. Felix managed to catch a few fish of his own, and they soon had enough for a delicious lunch. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, they decided to take a break and enjoy a picnic. Barnaby laid out a large, checkered blanket on the grass, and Felix unpacked a basket filled with tasty treats, fresh berries, honeycomb, and slices of bread with creamy butter. They enjoyed their meal, savoring the flavors and the warmth of the sun on their fur. After lunch, they lay back on the blanket, gazing up at the fluffy clouds drifting lazily across the blue sky. "Look, that cloud looks like a bunny," Felix pointed out, his eyes wide with wonder. Barnaby laughed, his deep voice rumbling like distant thunder. "And that one looks like a sailboat." They spent the rest of the afternoon cloud watching and sharing their dreams. Felix dreamed of exploring distant lands and discovering new wonders, while Barnaby imagined building a cozy cabin by the river where they could always come back to share stories and adventures. As the day began to wind down and the shadows grew longer, they packed up their things and headed back home. Felix carried the fishing rods while Barnaby held the bucket of fish. "Today was perfect," Felix said, his voice soft and content. "It really was," Barnaby agreed, his heart full of happiness. "We make a great team, Felix." Felix smiled, feeling the warmth of their friendship. "We really do, Barnaby. I'm so glad we have each other." As they reached the edge of the forest, they said their goodbyes, promising to meet again for another adventure soon. Barnaby watched as Felix trotted off into the woods, his fiery tail flicking in the evening light. Barnaby returned to his cozy den, feeling grateful for the wonderful day he had spent with his best friend. He prepared the fish they had caught, enjoying a delicious meal before settling down in his soft bed of leaves and moss. As he drifted off to sleep, Barnaby thought about the many adventures that awaited him and Felix. He knew that no matter what, they would always have each other, and that was the greatest treasure of all. And so, under the twinkling stars and the gentle rustle of the forest, Barnaby the bear slept soundly, dreaming of more happy, cozy days with his dear friend Felix the fox. The Honey Adventure. In the heart of the Whispering Woods, where the sun peeked through the trees and painted the forest floor with dappled light, lived a friendly bear named Barnaby. Barnaby was known for his warm, brown fur and gentle eyes that twinkled with kindness. He loved exploring the woods and having fun with his friends. One sunny afternoon, Barnaby decided to go on an adventure. He wanted to find the sweetest honey in the forest. He set off with a cheerful heart, humming a tune as he walked. Along the way, he met his dear friend Lola the bunny, who had soft, fluffy fur and a spring in her step. "Hello, Barnaby," Lola called out, hopping up to him. "Where are you going?" "Hi, Lola," Barnaby replied with a smile. "I'm on a quest to find some honey. Would you like to join me?" Lola's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I'd love to. Let's go find the sweetest honey in the woods." As they walked together, they chatted and laughed, enjoying the beauty of the forest. They soon came to a large oak tree that Barnaby knew was home to a beehive. The bees buzzed happily around the tree, busy with their work. "Look, Lola, there it is," Barnaby said, pointing to the hive high up in the tree. Lola tilted her head, pondering. "How are we going to reach it?" Just then, a familiar voice called out to them. It was Bella, a girl with brown eyes that shone with curiosity and brown hair that flowed in the breeze. Bella loved the forest and often joined Barnaby and Lola on their adventures. "Hi, Barnaby. Hi, Lola. What are you up to?" Bella asked as she approached. "We're trying to get some honey from that hive," Barnaby explained. Bella smiled, her eyes brightening with an idea. "I have an idea. Let's make a ladder from the fallen branches. We can reach the hive together." The three friends got to work, gathering sturdy branches and stacking them carefully against the tree. Soon, they had a wobbly but functional ladder. Barnaby, being the biggest and strongest, decided to climb first. He carefully made his way up, reaching for the hive. Just as he was about to grab it, his paw slipped and he tumbled down, landing with a thud. "Are you okay, Barnaby?" Lola asked, hopping over to him. Barnaby chuckled, a bit embarrassed. "I'm fine, just a little stuck." As he tried to get up, they realized that Barnaby was indeed stuck. His big belly was wedged halfway inside a hollow part of the tree. "Oh no, Barnaby," Bella exclaimed, trying not to laugh. "You're really stuck." Lola and Bella tried pulling him out, but Barnaby was firmly wedged. "I guess I'll be stuck here forever," Barnaby said with a playful sigh. Bella and Lola giggled. "Don't worry, Barnaby, we'll figure something out." They sat down beside him, thinking of a plan. Bella looked around and spotted a pile of acorns. "I have an idea," she said, her eyes twinkling. "Let's make a game of it while we think. We'll toss acorns into the hollow part of the tree and see who can get the most in." Lola clapped her paws in delight. "That sounds fun!" They began the game, laughing and cheering each time an acorn landed in the hollow. Even Barnaby joined in, using his free paw to catch and toss acorns. As they played, they didn't notice that Barnaby was slowly wriggling free. After a while, Barnaby gave a big push, and with a pop, he was out of the tree. He tumbled onto the grass, laughing with his friends. "I guess playing the game helped after all," he said, brushing off the leaves. Bella and Lola cheered and hugged Barnaby. "We did it! You're free!" Bella exclaimed. Barnaby smiled, feeling grateful for his friends. "Thank you for sticking with me, even when I was stuck." Lola giggled. "That's what friends are for, Barnaby." They decided to take a break and have a picnic. Bella had brought some sandwiches and fresh fruit, and Lola had a basket of carrots. Barnaby, of course, had a jar of honey from his previous adventures. They sat under the shade of the big oak tree, enjoying their meal and each other's company. The bees buzzed around them, joining in the peaceful moment. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the forest, Barnaby, Bella, and Lola lay back on the grass, looking up at the sky. They watched as the stars began to twinkle, feeling cozy and content. "Today was such a wonderful adventure," Bella said, her voice soft and happy. Barnaby nodded, his eyes closing as he felt the gentle breeze. "It really was. I'm so glad I have friends like you." Lola snuggled closer to Barnaby, her fluffy tail twitching with contentment. "Me too. We make the best team." And so, under the starry sky, the three friends drifted off to sleep, dreaming of more happy and cozy adventures to come in the Whispering Woods. They knew that as long as they had each other, they could overcome any challenge and find joy in every moment. The Big Birthday. In the heart of the whispering woods, where the trees sang softly with the wind and the sun painted the forest floor in dappled light, lived a kind-hearted bear named Barnaby. Barnaby had a warm brown coat and gentle eyes that twinkled with kindness. He loved making his friends happy and was always thinking of ways to bring joy to those around him. One sunny morning, as Barnaby was strolling through the woods, he remembered that his dear friend Whiskers the cat's birthday was coming up. Whiskers, with his sleek black fur and curious green eyes, loved climbing trees and exploring the forest. Barnaby wanted to do something special for his friend. "I know just what to do," Barnaby exclaimed, a big smile spreading across his face. "I'll build a treehouse for Whiskers. It will be the perfect birthday present." Excited about his plan, Barnaby set to work right away. He decided to build the treehouse in a big, sturdy oak tree that stood in a sunny clearing. It had strong branches that would make the perfect foundation for a cozy treehouse. Barnaby gathered all the supplies he would need: wooden planks, nails, a hammer, and some bright, colorful paint. He also asked for help from some of his forest friends. Bella the bunny, with her fluffy fur and energetic hops, and Felix the fox, with his clever ideas and swift paws, were more than happy to lend a hand. The first step was to build the platform. With Felix's help, Barnaby carefully nailed the wooden planks to the branches, creating a sturdy floor. Bella hopped around, fetching tools and holding nails in her paws, making sure everything was just right. As they worked, they chatted and laughed, enjoying the warm sunshine and the joy of working together. "Whiskers is going to love this," Bella said, her eyes shining with excitement. "I can't wait to see his face when he sees it," Felix added, his tail swishing happily. Next, they built the walls and the roof. Barnaby wanted to make sure the treehouse was cozy and comfortable, so he added a small window to let in the light and a little door just the right size for Whiskers. Bella helped paint the walls a cheerful blue, while Felix added colorful designs with his swift brush strokes. As they finished painting, Barnaby had another idea. "Let's make some decorations," he suggested. "We can hang lanterns and make a comfy bed inside." They gathered soft moss, leaves, and some of Bella's cozy blankets to create a comfortable bed. Felix found some beautiful wildflowers and wove them into garlands to hang around the treehouse. Barnaby carved a little sign that said Whiskers Treehouse and hung it above the door. Finally, the treehouse was complete. It stood proudly in the oak tree, looking inviting and magical. "This is perfect," Barnaby said, admiring their work. "Whiskers is going to be so happy." The day of Whiskers' birthday arrived, and Barnaby, Bella, and Felix could hardly contain their excitement. They led Whiskers to the clearing, keeping the treehouse a surprise until the very last moment. "Happy birthday, Whiskers," they all shouted, stepping aside to reveal the treehouse. Whiskers' eyes widened in amazement, his tail flicking with joy. "Oh, my Whiskers! Is this for me?" he exclaimed, running up to the treehouse and peeking inside. "It's perfect. Thank you so much." Barnaby, Bella, and Felix beamed with happiness as they watched Whiskers explore his new treehouse. He climbed up and down the ladder, peered out the window, and settled into the comfy bed they had made for him. "This is the best birthday present ever," Whiskers said, his green eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you, Barnaby. Thank you, everyone." They spent the rest of the day playing and celebrating in the clearing. They had a picnic with delicious treats, played games, and shared stories under the shade of the oak tree. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the forest, they lit the lanterns and watched as the treehouse twinkled like a fairy tale castle. Barnaby felt a warm glow of happiness in his heart. He knew that the treehouse was more than just a gift. It was a symbol of their friendship and the joy of creating something special together. As the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Whiskers curled up in his cozy bed inside the treehouse, feeling loved and grateful. Barnaby, Bella, and Felix lay on the grass below, looking up at the stars and feeling content. "Today was perfect," Barnaby said softly, his eyes closing as he listened to the gentle rustle of the leaves. "It really was," Bella agreed, snuggling close to Felix. Felix nodded, his tail wrapped around him. "We make the best team." And so, under the starlit sky, surrounded by the warmth of their friendship, Barnaby, Bella, Felix, and Whiskers drifted off to sleep, dreaming of more happy and cozy adventures in the whispering woods. They knew that as long as they had each other, every day would be filled with joy, love, and the magic of friendship. The end. Don't forget to subscribe.